to 2020.
2020.
To being a great
year.
year.
Let's make it a great year.
The Morning Connection with Candice from Clearly Connected.
I'm a certified integrative holistic coach. A great life is a clearly connected life.
It is another fantastic morning connection here with Candice in studio. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Liz. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm so excited to have you in because this is going to be a really cool segment.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about being stuck.
Second one of 2020.
I know. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So, when it comes to Clearly Connected, where are you located?
So 327 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. I want to talk a little bit more about that at the end.
Yeah.
And my practice and what goes on in my facility over there.
For sure.
So like you said, up until this point, we've kind of talked about, especially last segment with the new year approaching, about being stuck in your life, which is simply just you're not where you want to be, for a better lack of terms. Or maybe you don't even realize that there's more to what you're doing every day. So just, again, be easy with yourself. You're a human. We all struggle with something, but who cares? I feel like as a society, there's so much fear around being vulnerable. There's so much stigma
100%.
because we're so quick to diagnose and label people. So no wonder why we're so programmed to believe that it's, weak or scary to just talk about our real lives. And from what I've learned and in my experience, so many people hide behind the truth of their lives because of that instead of just being real. And in coaching, we're just working with real life,
Yeah, right.
If you really stop and think about it for a minute, it's like imagine your body as this vessel that holds all of those unexpressed emotions and thoughts and insecurities and heartbreaks and dreams and everything that you stuff away. And no wonder why we become stuck or even sick.
Right.
Because what happens on the inside manifests on the outside. So, one of many things I love about coaching that I've shared before is that real connection and the clear connection. And the coaching process will help you get clear and move forward, but you can't get clear without commitment.
Okay.
What does the word commitment mean to you?
That's like a huge thing because I was like, oh, is commitment different, like based off of like life coaching versus, or is it like, or is it like the same?
Well, I think people generally know what the definition of commitment is.
Yeah.
I thought I did too.
Yeah.
Until I really stepped into commitment. And, stepping into commitment just means that you're going to do whatever it takes to get to where you want to be. So it really just puts a different spin. It's like, yeah, I'm committed. But then once you start, especially if you're trying to change or grow your life, to really fully step into that, right? Because there's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be a breakdown. And those things have always been there, but you see it in a different light when you're in coaching. So
yes.
It's just, no matter what happens along my path, I'm going to get to where I want to be. And, if you really stop and look at your life, everything that you have is a result of what you're committed to. I mean, right? Like, even if something isn't the way you want it to be and you're not taking the steps to do anything to change it,
you're committed to keeping it that way.
Committed to that, right?
Yeah,
but
right. Yeah.
give yourself a break, It's interesting how our minds work because even if things aren't the way we want it to be, it's so much easier to stay where you are versus putting in the work to change it. Because we get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Sometimes people are big talkers and they say that they want something different, but then when you suggest a way to get there, they're like, oh, well.
Yeah, well, it takes work,
It does take work.
And it's really not that scary at all. But again, when our fears and our insecurities and our self-doubt start coming into play, because it's like, I want this, but then you think of all the unknown, that's, when people will stop. So, we get more committed to our excuses and our stories about why we can't do things, but we really all can.
Right.
And it just
you're
takes,
all capable.
We all can do it. And once you get clear, you start seeing those possibilities. So in my coaching practice, I have clients, that are really wanting to discover their life purpose. They're wanting to heal and improve relationships, maybe with family and friends and their partners. Wanting to take care of and focus on themselves for literally the first time ever in their lives. Wanting to improve their confidence and move through their fears and heal their broken hearts and feel genuine happiness and fulfillment in their lives and maybe change habits and behaviors that don't work for them. The list goes on, and it's all possible when you have that clarity and connection and commitment. And it really does put a totally different spin on it to say, I'm not committed to taking care of myself.
Yeah.
No, I'm not committed to living my best life.
I don't want to be that person.
And again, stepping into commitment doesn't mean to commit to something you don't want to do.
Right.
It's really a great way to check in with yourself about what's real too, and what you really want versus just going through the motions. For example, relationships are always a hot topic because relationships are work always.
Right.
And if you aren't committed to doing what it takes to make it work, what a great way to know where you stand.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, I don't have all the answers because nobody does, but what I know is that I'm trained in this awesome curriculum that Heather Steele out of Colorado created, and it changed my life. But it wouldn't have changed my life if I wasn't committed. And, are you willing to do what it takes to live your best life?
I think what's huge is like what I always say about you and always like life coaching, you guys can like look at it and ask us the question in a way that our brains don't naturally think of.
Well, right. You're tapping into that subconscious layer of your mind, which, I do ask a lot of questions, and you're tapping into that part of your mind where that information's always been there, but it's just not on the forefront of your mind every single day, and that's where the real change and growth happens when you start looking at those habits and patterns and behaviors that are in that part of your mind. So, a lot of questions in coaching, because it's really the client discovering these things about themselves, and which makes coaching really unique. And again, I love everything about it. And this can be the year that you invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself, because that is like, I think what you said, like, am I not committed to myself? Like saying that,
it kind of puts a different feel
when
to
you
it,
say it out
doesn't it?
loud. You're like, wait a second, what? Like, that can't be the case.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge. And if people are interested, where can they go?
Yeah, go to clearlyconnectedcoach.com. So really quick, I am the owner of Clearly Connected Coaching, Wellness, and Event Center on Oriskany Boulevard. So Clearly Connected is my coaching practice. However, I have some great businesses in my facility with me, providing, massage therapy, event planning. I also do some Reiki therapy on the side and partner with Ryan Clement from Purpose Project and do some Reiki yoga classes and Reiki meditation. I have a community room that's all about getting the community together, and I have different classes and workshops and events. You can find out all that information online. It's kind of cool. We have a little wellness mecca growing, so to speak, on that side of town, which is awesome. And again, I'm all about community and connection and bringing everyone together and helping them live their best lives. So I think it's great.
It is fantastic. And also for this segment here, The Morning Connection, if you have a topic that you want Candice to cover, you can submit it online.
Yeah, or a question. Feel free.
Way.
ClearlyConnectedCoach.com.
CMIKiss.com as well. All of those links. Candice, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Liz.
And let's be committed to making it the best year ever.
That's right.
Best year ever.